Hmm. Welcome, Insider. Welcome in. This is a impromptu thing. Just got frustrated with the non-stream of last time. Decided I was going to do some art. Except all of my scenes. Yeah, no, that's good enough. Don't know how long this will go, but I'm off center. Oh, that's why. The window's in the wrong monitor, of course it is. There we go, that's a bit better. Side. Down. Believe. I have to set this every time and double check. Yep, there it is. Every single time. So I was working on things earlier today. It's been a hectic day. I spent my morning just playing Astroneer, really. And it was fun. I mean, otherwise I wouldn't be playing it, right? Oh, message. Where is my message box? Should highlight that thing or something. No, I know you have to work early. You don't have to stay. If I was wanting to really make this a big thing, I probably would have advertised it, but I'm just not in sorts right now. Yes, cat, I hear you. What was I doing? Properties. I spent most of my afternoon compiling what I'm going to be redoing, only to find that I had fucked it up by saving it like an idiot. What I was making was a schedule image. Yeah, this whole week has been one hell of a year. But it was a schedule image that I was going to be able to just delete a layer that has the text on it, and then put in a new text layer each week if there's anything that changes. Mostly it would just be the Sunday, because once I get on a stable schedule with games midweek, it's fine. But let's see here. Turn on display capture. There we go. So this is what it was going to look like initially. This is the technically finished project, but as soon as I posted, I realized there were some issues with it. I wanted to clean up the plants a little bit more, and then I should have, with the size of them, made them the border, the sakura leaves, sakura tree branches, instead of having this outline of the background. So I went back into it to try and change that. It would just be pulling these back out, really. And nope, just one layer. They're not on their own layer anymore. Hey Rafi darling, welcome in, welcome in. So this is, I mean, a good template for where to begin, but I have to literally redo everything, including recapture the sassy pose. But I'll get that taken care of here. Let's open a new file though. I have no fucking clue what all of that shit means. I use MS Paint, but I drink MS Paint. However, let's go ahead and start with... You're not going to see it because it's on the other monitor and it blocks chat briefly, but I'm watching Stand by 6 animation in Vroid Studio, because there's a specific point that I want to try and capture. And I think the model, to be able to get a high enough resolution on it, the model has to be like very specifically positioned to get all of the model in. So at the moment I can't see chat, so I can't tell Rafi not to say that. There we go. Get through the cycle again. Perfect. Get the screen grab. And then, as was on monitor. And then what saved a lot of time the first time around is this magic wand tool, which used to be in MS Paint for that matter, but isn't. Just simply detects when it figures is one contiguous thingamawhat that you want highlit, and it does a really good job at it. Gets pretty much all of the outer border, and then I can just hit the deliver button. And it's just a matter of going through and getting the other voids.
Wrong button, shit.
Oh fuck, I have the horror sounds still loaded, and of course Rafi's the one that found it. Yeah, the horror soundboard profile is loaded because I was going to do Into the Radius on Thursday, but everything completely failed. Thursday was just an absolute defeat. Today's not great either, honestly. I went from being frustrated about this at 5-ish, but wanting to get right back into it, to remembering I had to go and get dinner for the family and watch Dune, which I love the new Dune, but I had already seen it, but they hadn't. And I had agreed to watch it with them, so that was... I did choose a Thursday, to be fair. You're not wrong. It's actually, you know what? Oh. Let's wait for that part. Need to clear that bit of hair, but I just remembered. But the way the... Okay, keep doing that. Keep being weird. But the way the eraser tool works in Krita, and probably anything more advanced than MS Paint, it'll blend with whatever's nearby as you erase, so it works sort of like a blur tool also. I think there's like a 5-minute timer on the soundboard. It says it's at 1 minute by default per user, and then like 5 minutes, and then you can set a timer for bit redeem, but I have no bits, so, because I can't monetize. You were in your own personal hell. What happened, darling? Let's see, I think I need to upload the background next. So this is the background. It's also the background from my initial profile pic. As a rarity, I'm currently sleepy just at 1 a.m., but the two sleeping beauties snoring their lungs out by my side. Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry, darling. That'd be your mother and her friend, if I recall correctly. As seen on monitor. Paint layer 2 goes all the way down to the bottom. Can't see my keyboard. Tablet's in the way. Well, I'm sorry that you have an unfortunate case of the lumberjacks going on behind you. So what I need to do first is reorient myself. I like this pose. I thought the pose was good. I'm gonna move the tablet out of the way for now. Oh, there's a challenge. Tablet arm crosses underneath the microphone arm. Does the character have her own name, or does she share yours? He is me. This is an illusion produced by a fake glamour I got from a friend to conceal my true form as a Yagwai because, well, I'm already a big queer monster. You don't want to see the rest of my monster. Or it's something I was going to reveal later on at, certain redeems and whatnot. And also after I commission it, paying artists to make one. Because I have some specific things that I just know I don't have the skills for and would gladly pay once I can monetize and then, or once I monetize and then can bring myself to actually buy something strictly for the channel. No, that might have been, Rock, whose model would continue to be female. But that's okay. I also am not really... Control T. All that... Nope. I don't want to rotate. Actually, let me just... That's slightly off. That's going to drive me nuts. I'm not too concerned about pronouns one way or another. But I am fairly certain that was Kel's. But I also know Kel's isn't too big on pronouns one way or another either. Generous top and bottom there. And then... I appreciate that. I'm a little lack of energy, or basically zero energy whatsoever right now, but... Oh, damn it, that's not what I want to do. I don't want to rotate. I want to draw it out a bit to bring back some of the roundness. I'm going to lose some in the crop, but I don't mind. It's right around when I would normally be asleep or going to bed anyway. Crop you relatively close. Yeah, this week has been an incredibly long month. I need 4 of these. And cool stuff I learned about Krita, or really about using layers in general, is that you can leave the highlight persistent to its location. This is going to be header. My intent is to make a image that I can then continuously update. I can pull out text, put in new text as I start streaming more and more days, add more boxes. So everything's going to be pretty generically labeled. But I do really like labeling my shit so I know what I'm doing. So by leaving that there, I can click up to the header layer, press T for grab the fucking thing. It's fluffy on top. fluffy layer. And then I'm still on the fluffy layer. I kind of want is over the shoulder. Let me actually check the... Oh no, I don't want the autosave. Shit, no. Did I just do that? Close that. Oh, it's head, arm, wrist, thigh. Close that. Fluffy is always top. I appreciate that. This one I kind of want about like yay. Actually, I just realized I made a mistake I made the first time. That is not finishing the work on the boxes before copying. So I want to get rid of as much.
Extra noses pounces on you, ooh, you're so warm. Couldn't help but notice your bolts from across the floor. Noses your Nicky Wacky till day Matilda, hee hee.
I might need to turn the
so
volume
baggy
on
as
this
panto,
video.
baby, you so musky. Take me home, pet me, and make me yours, and don't forget to stuff me. See me like my widow, baby, tail off for your bulgy wulgy.
gets
Kisses and
worse.
lickies your neck. I hope daddy likey sazzles and wazzles your chest. I be getting thirsty. Hey,
I
I
hope
got
you have
a little
headphones.
itch. You think you can help me? Only 7 inches long. Ooh, please adopt me. Pause on your butt as I lick my lips. Ooh, punish me, please. Gotta hit him with this furry shit. He don't see it coming.
I really, as much as I don't wish hearing loss on you, I do hope you had earbuds. Or headphones of some sort, because waking your mother up with that would have been a very awkward conversation, darling. Oh my goodness. Is it you had to mute, or have you actually suffered hearing loss? I definitely need to turn the volume on that one down. I'll get to that eventually. Can you hear me yet? Ah. So as much as I don't want hearing loss upon you, were you wearing headphones so that didn't wake your mom up? There, got all the background cleared up. Now we go back to highlighting. Okay, good. Because that would have been an incredibly awkward conversation as to why she just got woken the fuck up by the uwu song. Most of the audio is relatively well tuned. Like, I put most of the volumes at like half, but I didn't modify that one because at the time it came out kind of loud, but didn't seem too bad. But I didn't think about how it would balance with the rest of everything else because of how it sounded in my ear. I'm making hand motions like you can see my hands. Not yet. Would she understand enough to know what the fuck that song was about? You hate it. I love that song. I'm gonna turn the volume down on it, so it doesn't kill you immediately. But no way in hell. Okay. Well, that's a good thing. Oh, nope. I want T. Have it coming out. Kind of like a word bubble. Alright, that's box 3. I need header to come out like a word bubble. Actually needs to be a little bit low. Yeah, no, right about there. Good thing you didn't do it on one of more populated streams. Yeah. Well, I'm gonna turn the volume down, before my next stream. Every time, hit T. It was roughly arm. T. I think it's right about there. Oh, but because I positioned that one up a little higher, I can actually put box 1 higher. Let's actually get, just put box, every time, box 3 off to this. Wow. Skillful work there. Just make the box huge, that way I can't possibly miss. Yes, Kels will 100% go for it and will regret it, and Kels knows my reputation since, or for a long time. Kels has known me for a good bit, actually. So the only thing I can say is Kels might actually know it's a trap. Or might know the song and go, please be the song, please be the song. If I actually introduce Kels to culture, that'd be hilarious. That'd be freaking great. Control R. No. T. Wiggle. Yes, the right box. I'm just layering them so that the top of the Sakura tickles the bottom of the box above it, and it tucks a little bit behind me. Yes, that'd be a soft, girly voice saying uwu. Yeah, no. I mean, I could have marked it as uwu song, but where's the fun in that, darling? Some of these are traps. I will freely admit that. Not all of them. See, at least for now, that's... I think I almost want to expand the size of the boxes a little bit, but the next one's going to come down to here. That's 3. Yeah, 3. I would need 4 more for a maximum of 7 days, so that actually does make space for it, but I kind of liked on the previous one where it went arm, wrist, and then leg, and it followed the curve, and you could see that. This is going to be revealing the curve, the fact that it follows curvature, later as I stream more. Till then it just looks somewhat stacked, which is also fine, really. This is already going a lot faster. But I also know what it's supposed to look like, so. Graphic assets. Four by 3. Let's try try to get you. You're just gonna be that size no matter what, so. Snag you. Drop you off to the side. And then, as on monitor. Okay. Voice attack ding a bit loud, but in Astroneer and in Photoshop it's Heart Attacker. I need to adjust that, but I'm not sure exactly how to do that. Let me bring up voice attack here. Darling. Because in my ears it sounds fine, but then again I also have my audio is at 38%. It's not fully up. So I don't know how that affects things. Let's see here. Edit command. Play sound. Edit play sound. There we go. Perfect. How's that? I do want it louder than everything. I don't want to be able to talk over it necessarily unless I'm just up energy and shouting. But I do want it over the music and the game. Unless, of course, the game is losing its mind. Like, I'm going to be doing Doom on Thursdays now until I get my VR shit sorted out. Okay. Apply. Darling. Okay. Then I was still louder than you, but less ear violating. Good to know. Let's pull you off to the side for now. Zoom in and magic stick. And this is the one where I can go very astray trying to use the magic wand too much. I also need to do cleanup there. I think that can go these spaces between. Might have to erase that manually. Spaces between stems are definitely not flowers, and those can all go. I think that going looks fine. It's hard to tell what's Sakura and what is. Oh, you're welcome. The image is just low enough res and from photo. Not that I'm gonna complain. I mean, StreamScreen put this out for free, and all I had to do was get past their mighty horde of robots on their Discord that I also don't pay attention to. Just fade all of that completely. I could go through and click each of these little things off to the side and hit them with the magic stick, but I don't want to waste that kind of time. I will say the logic engine that operates this is a lot smarter than it was on MS Paint back in the day, in that it's an actual logic engine here, as far as I can tell. Went for sushi today, they didn't offer Doritos 2 out of 5. Doritos sushi makes my soul ache, darling. Like, the concept I did not need to know about. Oh, no, I want to keep that. I think with MS Paint it just sort of went, what is a solid line? And this seems to actually have a logic engine behind it that works, does a job. The tamaki was good though. Not that I eat them with hashi. Also don't want to depopulate the white, or depopulate this cherry tree that much, but I do want more of the background to come through. So it's a bit of a hard choice. I'm glad the tamaki was good, though. Hello, Lana, darling. Welcome in, welcome in. Doing a bit of a guerrilla stream, redoing work I had done over the course of about 5 hours earlier today. On my own. I wasn't streaming it. I was thinking the whole time, you know, I should be streaming this. This makes sense to stream. But then I saved it wrong and fucked up. Only at 8 darlings? Well, it's only been 35 minutes. 9 darlings. Oh, I didn't pick that one up. Darling. There we go. Okay, what was I looking for? Brush. Right. Drop it. Actually, it doesn't have to be that small. Yeah, there we go. Well, thank you, love. Actually, let me pan back real quick. This was what I did on my art stream Sunday, was, made the new, default use model. It's 9 o'clock. It's usually when I'd go to bed, so I would call it late night. I couldn't find better shoes. I didn't have anything fantastically well designed to drop right in. Oh, it's Drowsy. Oh, Drowsy, darling. I didn't see you there. Hello, welcome in, welcome in. You are the same color as Lana, so I did not spot you. But I didn't have any good shoes downloaded, other than these ink splot ones, or paint splot ones, which I love, so they went on there. Cider actually talked me into going with these pants. It was an experiment. That's actually a hair texture that was layered over pants. It's a rainbow hair texture. And because the hair textures are one solid box, whereas these have outlines showing the different, where the texture overlays, it just made pants. Same color doesn't mean they look alike, Fluff. Check your privilege. You're not wrong. But shut up anyway, Raph. The top was actually, a hoodie texture thrown, or a hoodie skin thrown over a texture programmed for a long coat. A Nehru colored long coat, so it, like this, you can tell knowing that this is supposed to be like the back of the hood, this is the inside of the hood, but it also just looks nice the way it is layered. So maybe you will, maybe. I doubt that, darling. You're not gonna be quiet. And then the main modification, which I forgot to go through and do the neck line from the top of the heart to the top, was rehemming it, cutting it up a little bit more, and then trimming the bottom edge. The rest of it was just manipulating the dials on it. I did that last Sunday. This Sunday, because I was going to do last Sunday, I was going to do the entire Titanfall solo mode. But I went ahead and did an art stream instead. Yeah, no, that's paint layer. Let's rename this. This will be... Oh goodness, Maeve! Welcome in, welcome in. Welcome, darling. My goodness, I am truly blessed. About everybody has shown up. This is pretty hoppin' for one of my streams. It's supposed to be erase. Yep, freehand brush tool, erase. I have not used Krita more than... How am I doing such an early morning stream? It's a relatively late night stream for me, so... No, stop that. I'm not used to programs recognizing the buttons on the side do things. Stay there. Still not erasing. I'm assuming I'm on the right layer. Let's find out. Yep, correct layer. Collapse the box. Yeah, Cider was here a moment ago, but he... Poor darling works early, works 10-hour shifts, and elected to do... Oh my, this thing just disappears in the color it's on now. Does that help? It helps a little. But he, there we go. He elected to do 10-hour shifts starting 2 hours earlier than his team normally does instead of staying 2 extra hours. You didn't catch that one, darling? Well, I appreciate you catching that. Should do a cleanup now. I think if he is still here, he's very much lurking, which, I mean, extremely on brand for the little one. Our dear sweet wolf boy. But I think he's probably, since he has to be working at 6-hour time, he is likely going to be in bed now. I wanted to move over to the 10-hour teams also, but I have too much set up on the weekends to lose both days. Like, my schedule is set around a standard Monday through Friday. Oh, the exclamation point lurk only works if it's at the start, I think, or on its own. But it does work, and enjoy your lurk, honey. There we go. Not enough people use the commands anyway. I don't actually have enough practice on how they properly work, but I do have commands programmed in. I've had them programmed in since my second stream, which is literally before any of you showed up, before I knew any of you. I think... I mean, I knew Cider before then, of course, but he was not lurking my streams then. Any more? I kind of want to clean up the edges there, but I know it's not going to show all that badly. escaped the hallway. Oh, not what I wanted. What is brush? Brush is B. Good to know. Not sure if any of you saw when I posted it into, I believe it was completed projects over at the Satter House, but I've got this small tablet. It's a Bamboo brand tablet that I got from a friend of mine. Told the story a couple of times, but basically she had no idea how to clean the thing and used the wrong cleaning product on it and just assumed it was broken. So after I used mild alcohol to just strip off the mistake, I, had myself a free tablet, free drawing tablet. It's not one of the ones with a screen on it. Oh, what did I just do? Oh, I just opened calculator. Fantastic. I don't need you, calculator. I think that all looks clean enough. What was that? There we go. Yeah, because it's gonna distort a little bit as I zoom it, but not badly. Main thing is it's cleaned up. Yep, mild alcohol to clean it off. I have told that story more than once in your presence. Let's see here. Control C, Control V. So we are going to call this one the bottom branch. But the tablet I put on a swing arm mount, one of those spring-loaded articulated mounts like you have for microphones. In fact, I have one for my microphone also. So it's out of the way, it's off my table. I've got very little on my work table to begin with now, which is good. I like having a clear-ish table. And it's going to become a floating shelf soon enough. I need to patch the wall where the floating shelf kind of broke the wall, because I mounted it to the only wall in this ancient godless house that wasn't lath and plaster. I think if I go with about there. Let's actually make these branches go to the bottom as well. Actually, let's delete bottom branch. Oh. Let's delete top branch, and now I know my labeling is wrong. But I found the one wall that was not lath and plaster that I sunk a... Oh, wow. Had a stroke there. Oh, the tablet's... Ha! Hello, tablet. Thank you. You go back off to the side for now. You're not needed at the moment. The one wall that wasn't lath and plaster, and thus I needed to anchor something like a floating shelf into the studs of the house. But I did not. I know those are backwards, but I would have to relabel... No, I could have done that. Whatever. It's only me. I'm the only one who will know. So let's move that one down, and then the selection, let's invert selection. Nope. That was not what I wanted to do. It was... edit? No. Let's I'll just transform the layer, whereas I'll use up here where there are eyes. New import, convert, transform. Rotate layer 180. Almost perfect positioning too. Handy. I think I will get you there. Sort of judging roughly square I wish to make. Let's go ahead and get to move to the header layer, not that it's going to make a difference. Get rid of the selection box and make some text. Pacifico. I need a 12-point font, bold, and let's color pick something darker. Actually 8-point, and then no, not right. No. I think that'll probably look. No, that's. Keep it simple. So I actually have a box that just says schedule. Pre-generated that came with everything else in this Sakura package. But it's in white, which on the pink doesn't stand out very well. Especially if your text overruns onto these leaves. Okay. Somebody lost some fluff off of them. I need to figure out which box that is. Another place for me to forget to update my schedule. I update my schedule, you prick. I just forget to push it. I just forget that it puts the same thing for every week from now until the end of time. Not you. Box 2 lost some fluff. Good to know. Where did you lose that from? Doesn't look like it was anywhere important. What's a dumb design choice? The Twitch schedule? Yeah, the native schedule app on Twitch is not the best. This is why I was saving cleaning this up until here, because of course I gotta be on the right layer though. Something I'm getting used to is being on the correct layer. This is where the tablet comes in handy. Repeat until, yeah, being able to repeat until X would be nice. The only real modification is you can set it to be one-off, in which case you're updating your Twitch schedule on Twitch every week. Or you can also skip a week. So if you're doing it every other week you've got to remember to go in there and tell it to skip a week. This is not Harris Heller's Sakura Dreams. This is, or wait, the song? Probably. It is Sakura. It's, I think, off of the same... The album might be called, Sakura Dreams. I'm not certain. But, yeah, I have a playlist made up of, mostly lo-fi stuff by Harris Heller because it's all, you know, royalty-free stuff. There's only been one copyright strike issue ever in the history of ever with him, and that got resolved real quick because, you know, he owns the rights, and when he says, I did not push this motherfucker, you back off and get off my fans, they do. Friggin' copyright bots. Well, I know basically nothing about art myself. That's why all of this was copy-pasted, basically. I almost feel like I should stretch the branches so that they meet, but having the open space... Maeve, I honestly believe everybody should do art streams. Personally, I love art streams. Part of why most or an alarming number of my follows that I follow on Twitch are artists. I just like watching them do the art. Oh, not art stream, just art? Yes. Absolutely, darling. Thank you, robot. I think that's looking good as a baseline. I actually have no real... Nice, this time around when it erased, it didn't leave a whole bunch of speckles everywhere with my model. Last time there was a whole bunch of little white dots where it had left something. This time around I don't even think the edges really need much cleaning up. Obviously above my head there, but... Yeah, let's do the cleanup on Fluffy, and then save this as a project, and then save it as the JPEG, and save it as a project again. If you get into indie game design, probably streaming yourself making smaller projects. Honestly, yes. I know oh, okay. I took it from a different... I thought it looked different. Now let's open with and not Krita photos. So this was the original and had more sway to the hip. You know, I actually might retake that photo. I think I took it about a quarter second off. And from... No, it's just the timing was off slightly. Hello, Kels, darling. Welcome in, welcome in. Goodness, basically the entire Insomniac gang is here. So, this is why I'm redoing it, is A, this is all one layer because of how I saved it, and that's terrible. But I wanted to change the color because here where it says 16 on Doom 2016, it's a little bit hard to read. Here for HD, for Chex Quest HD, it's a little hard to read. And then I wanted to more unify the size of the font. Like these are all 12, but this was 5 and this is like 14. And then I realized that keeping all of the Sakura leaves, like keeping it all in frame, just makes it kind of uglier. So what I'm going to do is chop it along the stalks. If I could round the edges, that'd be fantastic, but I don't know how to do that. So I might find out. Well, let's go ahead and actually stop hitting the wrong buttons, but let's hide Fluffy. Bring up Vroid, which I have in the other window, so you're not going to see it. And it's blocking chat briefly, so I can't be responsible for what Raffi's saying right now. Just watching an animation cycle slowly. Okay. I've got just enough room to get it high enough resolution for me to be happy with it and get the position I wanted. Yep, I think it's the start of the cycle that I want. I'll show you guys what I'm looking at here in a moment once I get the picture right. To show you what an absolute pain in the ass this is. I have to basically have my hands hovering over the snippet hotkeys. And of course it then glitches and does the stupid. I did not want that little. No, that's too early. No, that's... Almost seems like this is mirrored from what I was looking at the first time. Yes, Dobby is free. That's an even better one, actually. Okay, almost got it. Perfect. Okay. Let me drag this over so you can see. When it's on the other screen, it's along an ultra-wide monitor that is back with your phone charger, and you are not an elf. I'm not certain of that. I haven't seen you. But it's along a ultra-wide monitor that's turned vertical, so it's a very narrow corridor, but it's closer in. I'm just watching this animation over and over, trying to catch just the right angle. And the first two steps of it I could use, but the arms crossed I'm not a big fan of. I like the sassy sway to it. But this time around, I snagged a little bit more sideline to the positioning, which I think actually works better. Let me do some cleanup here real quick. Boop. Just right in there, right inside. Will you magic it? Not quite. But no, I really like Harris Heller and Stream Beats. They sound fantastic. I should listen to the stuff that has vocals on it more. I mean, I should listen to anything other than the more laid-back, lo-fi, bit, chiptune and mildly cyberpunk. But that's what I got into listening to. Should actually be with header layer anyway. So back when I was doing background music for. Oh no. Let's go back to the correct layer. Thank you. When I was having warm-up music for when I was doing the cyberpunk run-through. That all looks good. I need to trim that manually, but I will hollow that as a reminder. No, I do not want to destroy my hand. That's not going to magic up. I'm going to have to erase that manually. Because that's going to eat some of the wrist. So click out, get the brushy brush. And let's not hit the grabby button. Do some cleanup here. A little perturbed that with the angle on this one, it happened to eat up some of the hand there. Trying to take a ref pic for yourself, and you noted that you lost weight within 4 weeks, and you're not sure how much. Belt's lost a hole or two. That is arguably a good thing. If it's because you're starving yourself, then that's not good. If I recall correctly, you're not a very large person yourself. But I will leave your health up to you, of course. I only request that you do not die, darling. I'll have to find another chill streamer from Finland, and that's going to be difficult because there's only 5 people in Finland. I know 3 of you. Could be using a larger brush for the middle here, but... normal weight scale, having weight loss is bad, yeah. You know the other 2, that's quite possible. Trying to give myself a little bit of a buffer, something I learned from using the horrible tools that exist in Vroid Studio is to give yourself a little bit of a bubble when you're erasing. So when you go back through with a larger brush or a larger eraser to back cleanup, you're not running a risk of going over your lines just because the brush is larger. Now, dear friend of mine, the woman he married, which, good God, that's still shocking to me that he found a woman. One of her closest friends is from Finland, and she and I get along very well because we're both chronically depressed. And then one of her friends, I don't talk to him much, but I guess when it turns out that when she found out I was queer as Vulcan beer, she pointed me towards one of her friends, and he's a nice guy, but do lines first and go from that to larger areas. Yeah, the way I think of it is outline and then clean up, or surround and contain. But he and I didn't really hit it off. Nice guy, but I think actually at proper range, the fact that it partially ate the fingers is not going to be noticeable at all. Yes, sleep, darling, sleep. It was lovely to have you here. You have a wonderful night. Seem... I feel like I'm squishier than normal. I think I'm further down, that's for certain. Looking at the box. Normally about there, and then... yeah, look less squishy, but now the box has moved. Yep, something distorted, but close enough. There I am. I'll call that good. And then VC Faye can go away. Boop. Don't look at you like what? Like this? So how did commanding me work out for you, Raffi? Nope, not far enough up. That ribbon is just massive. I'm on layer the correct layer. Now you can't find your way back. Are you lost in the hotel? Welcome in, Proteus. You know, I kept saying... oh, welcome in, darling. Haha. 17. Nice. I kept saying about the gang's all about here, but then another person keeps coming in. I think this will actually still line up well enough. I won't have to move the boxes, because the other one was a little bit broader. This is a bit narrower because I'm looking at it from the side. I think that'll do just fine. I bet I could actually stretch myself a little bit. Oh, you got completely and unretrievably lost in my eyes. Well, that is a danger. A few more to come. Swarmy, for example. Swarmy's not here, yeah. And then, oh, Alter's not going to be here. Or Alter and Doppel. They've been having some shit luck with their apartment. It's not a very expensive apartment, which is why they're living there. It's rather cost effective. But that unfortunately comes with the downside of slow, shitty management, and they had a water leak from their neighbor's water heater, and water from their upstairs neighbor, and then water from their neighbor next to them has completely flooded them. So they're just straight up out of their apartment for now while they wait until they can hurl somebody into the sun. Poor darlings. I hope they know that if they need anything from us, the whole community is without a doubt there for them. I mean, we don't know exactly what state they're in or where they're at if they need something in person, but they have friends for that. If, say, their landlord is in my state, there are a lot of ravines out here. Just saying. I don't have a truck, but I do have a Pontiac Bonneville, which has like a 3-hooker trunk to it, so problems could be solved. Problems can be solved. That is a joke. Twitch, please do not ban me. I am not actually intending to murder. Position makes tucking the elbow in a little bit trickier. It's got to go behind that line or it's going to get clipped off. Might actually have to move the boxes a bit. Let's skip the transformations. Yeah, go back to the normal size, that's fine. Actually, yeah, that'll work just fine. I mean, if you get the landlord there, you can drop him off for a little forest trip in the middle of nowhere. I mean, you know you're about to hit some serious problems when the trees start speaking Finnish. Ask Molotov. I think that line works. And then that leaves for future expansion, I can put one more box that sticks out and then start following it back down a bit along the legs. Leaves this area open for something in the future. I could actually put my insignia there, now that I think about it. He sent bread baskets, we responded with cocktails. Indeed. If you inject a bubble of air with a syringe in a specific point between the thumbs, it'll look like a heart attack. True, but if you take him out into the Finnish woods, it'll look like wolves got him. I don't know how he got down that ravine in the northwest, but I mean, people do weird stuff out here. I am happy with that positioning. It looks good. I'm not going to get the same positioning that I was getting from the other facing, but it's turned a bit more to the side, so it's more like I'm presenting myself, like drawing people's eye to the schedule, while still making uncomfortable eye contact. Because why would I not? The other problem with multiple step plans, a list of things that can go wrong. True. That and also the dumb people who, make a list. The number of people who have been caught because they made a goddamn list. It's like, dude. Criminal shit number one. Criminal shit 101 is don't make a list of your criminal shit. I don't want to move it. No, stop that. Me. Okay, well that just... Fine. It's fine, it's fine. Step 1, get there. Step 2, wing it. I mean, that's the Silverhand method. A little bit more on that side. A little bit more down. Good thing I have a drink sitting here. I did not plan any of this fuckery, so I did not have a drink ready. But I have a drink on hand, so that's convenient. It's actually sitting here since, well, no, I made it earlier. Otherwise, it would have been sitting here since Thursday. With that scuffed, failed train wreck of a stream that I'm still salty about. I think that looks like it'll be a good crop. It's a little bit asymmetrical because the head has a little bit more space than the feet, about twice as much. And then the arm has the least amount, but I think it's pretty good. I could probably bring elements in a little bit, but like I said, this allows me to put a message over here, something sassy. This is going to get expanded as I stream more days. Let's just check the perimeter. Oh! Ate some of my shoe, you rapscallion. Now that's a problem I'm gonna have to figure out. I'm able to clear that lace and this lace, which is cool. I think... pull a life field and crop the feet out. No, I like these shoes. I have a pair at home that are kind of similar. The gray isn't at all in the shoes, though. That's not supposed to be there. Something happened with the image itself. Let's turn off erase. Let's color sample just back there. He said turn off erase, motherfucker. I don't know what any of these do. Or it's just regular brush. I have no idea what any of this is. Let's choose... Oh my god, this is so advanced. Basic. No, I don't need that. I don't need any of that. Go away. This isn't even the right... Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter, go away. I don't know how it opened the other one, but okay. Gonna try to get back to your room and see if the snoring got any better. Probably not, darling, I'll be honest with you. Snorers, do not get better. Color select. From down there. Damn it. Brush. I'm on the correct layer. Come now, this should not be that difficult. What? No? None of that. What even is that button? Oh! That selects various common tools. Okay. Still not letting me do the thing I want to do. Do I have a crop setup that I was not aware of? Is that it? Yes, but now... Erase is still on. There we go. Let's actually see what... Different airbrush, actually. What? The fuck are you doing? Oh, 6 pixels, 600. No. Color sample some of the gray. Doesn't look right. Because it's supposed to be a colored section. Let's go with... putting purple in. And then I think I can actually erase the top bit here, and that's gonna be fine. No, that's not gonna be fine at all. Well, let's go over this, because that's... Yeah, something about the image somewhere got mixed up because there's gray on the shoe when there should not be any. Got the airbrush tools working to help clear things up a bit. Lighting might be... it's hard to say. Go back to brush. Putting more into cleaning up these shoes than I really wanted to, but... I want them to look alright. Keep losing track of what I'm doing because I'm not exactly here. I said I'm normally asleep at this point, but stipple in a little bit of the darker blue to break it up. Doesn't have to look good, just good enough because it's not going to be looked at that closely. Something else I'm learning the hard way. Yeah, that doesn't necessarily look out of place. No, I want to get this done. I'm almost done, honestly. I'm just cleaning up these shoes, really. And then save this format. And then add text, save that as a JPEG, and post that on the cider house. It is 10, yes. But my stream tomorrow isn't until noon, which it might be slightly late if I wake up late and still have to go and do a grocery run. Because there's no grocery running after the stream because I'm planning on doing the entirety of Titanfall's single-player campaign, Titanfall 2. One didn't actually have a single-player campaign, interestingly enough. Which will be about 5 hours of content, so by the time I'm done with it, it's gonna be late enough that I don't want to go to any stores. Especially not around here. If I were to guess, I'd say I've got about another hour or so at most. And then this is completed. Not even for drinks? No, I'm not. First of all, I'm just not going out to anywhere that would serve drinks, really. There's still a pandemic. My country is stupid. I mean, it's not just us. A lot of people are being stupid as fuck right now, but... My country's especially bad, so long as it continues to be, and my father lives with me and has lung problems. Oh, the liquor store? They're actually open pretty early out around here. Tacoma gives you plenty of reasons to drink. But no, I did not actually get out to get some Brazilian rum, some Caracha? I feel like I'm missing a C in there. Kachatsa. I'm not sure what the dangly C sounds like. The C with the goatee on it. Cachaça. Gotcha. I should have known that was an atypical C, so it would have been an S sound. I think that looks good. And yeah, out of range, it's fine. Let's just police the border here. Make sure that the rest of me looks clean enough. Ow. May need to modify box positioning, the stem ends there. Cachaça. And it's a long S sound, a sa, not just a sa, yeah? See, the first time around I had to go through and clean up all of the lines because the magic tool didn't do it as well. Cachaça. Okay. Cachaça. Perfect. Well, I feel blessed. Thank you. Let me go ahead and... And this may have sounded sarcastic, but I mean it. I'm extremely happy I got it right. Then vector layer 1. Recenter U. Box 1, let's redraw. Just noticed the elvish ears. What's the story on them? Well, I am a Yaogwai, and that comes with some unfortunate side effects. This is a glamour. It's elvish magic I got, or Seelie magic, Fey magic I got from someone in return for services rendered, of course. And it conceals my true form as a Yaogwai, but I'm not... I gotta be honest, I'm about as good with programming Fey magic as I am with art. So not everything could be concealed properly. My ears are not as rounded as they normally are and satellite-like, but they did come out to a point instead of being more like normal human ears. The eyes themselves can't really conceal all of that and make it look normal, but less baleful fire and less void, just a small amount of void, really. And then the teeth, God, teeth are so hard to program. Teeth are so hard to do, so I gave up on it. So, yeah, still got the teeth. The little blue gem inside the heart, the little blue gem in my sternum there is the control gem for the illusion. Sometime I might, when I'm feeling confident enough in myself, I might reveal my true form. possibly as a reward for getting monetized after I commission somebody. Yes, Fallout Yagwe are different. Radioactive bears are not the same. Fun fact, for the longest time I mixed up Yao Guai with Yao Ming, so I thought you used a meme as your name. Wow. Exclamation point, Y-O-G-U-A-I. A-I. Boop. There we go. That's a basic rundown of Yao Guai. And, I was cursed as Yagwai by a signet that was given to me, a ink stamp given to me by a good friend who came back from a trip abroad visiting family in Shanghai. That turns out to have been cursed. And the fact that I'm a Yagwai is because my signature by my common nickname, when translated into Shanghainese, but Mandarin as well, is Yagwai. So, kind of ironic. You be a troll, and then you become one. But, you know, not as you would expect. That's okay, though. I can always hide myself as the Fimby link you have at home, so... I think that line works well. It's fairly even, and it conceals the stem ending behind that little the Motoko, the Kusanagi. Yeah, the Fallout Yagwai are, like I said, mutated bear monsters. They were named by Chinese prisoners of war. I do have a good bit of time in Fallout myself, which kind of made it ironic when I was told what my nickname translates to. Because I had just finished another, I think my first 300 hours in Fallout 4 when I was given that. And the funny thing is, my friend didn't actually know what it was. She knows some Chinese. She's not properly super fluent with it, but she knows a good amount. She's first generation American, so her mother came from overseas. But she didn't exactly know how to translate it, so when she was at the shop, you still can't not unimagine a fluffy radioactive bear. I know, and that sticks in your brain, and I like that. Deathclaws got their names because they have claws prowling devs. Can't not see Fluffy Fuck It face? What face would that be, darling? But my friend, when she was at the shop that makes, signet stamps, she explained to the person running the shop what it was, what she was looking for, and the person, old, small Chinese guy, like almost stereotypical artisan, sort of turns to his grandson, says some things, he says some things back, he looks at her, speaks in English, translates it, and he goes, "Ah!" and shook his head, I guess. But he made it, because he's an artisan, and he was commissioned to do something. So he does it. He carries it out, because they take crafting incredibly seriously. And I respect that. I think I've posted pictures of the stamp. If not, I will do that again. I actually really like it. I just wish it hadn't have cursed me. But, It's a clever use of language in the Fallout universe. American soldiers would totally not know enough Chinese, so just call it what the Chinese call it. Yes, actually, that happens with language barriers quite frequently. In fact, chili was served to the explorers of, I believe it was Ponce de Leon, or no, Cortez's people. They were served what was translated as, because they didn't have spicy peppers like you get in South America, in Europe, or in any of the colonies they had at the time. So when they asked what the food was, they called it chiles con res, and it was, beef and chili peppers mixed up with a couple of local beans and such, and that's why chili is called that. The food. But they got it, I don't know, I was going somewhere with that, but chili con carne. Yeah. But I got confused, and so they thought chili referred to the entire dish, so they just called it chili, which is why we have it as chili, as a food, a completed dish, and chilies, or chili peppers, as the thing. Well, now you want chili. You're welcome. I feel like I need a chili counter on this this stream, darling. $20 in an hour and 46. I need to step up my game, darlings. I think... Chili is spice, chili peppers are just, peppers like paprika. Forgot if that had an English word, but anyway, here in the States and in most English-speaking, English primary language, former English colonies at least, chili refers to the dish made with beans and, usually beans, not always, but beef or pork and hot spices, and such, like a spicy stew almost, thicker than stew. And then chilies are the peppers, or you can call them chili peppers, or you call them by the specific name of the chili, like jalapeno or serrano, ghost pepper, Carolina Reapers, which, Jesus Christ, Carolina, slow down. Now you want guisado? Is that something similar? I bet it is, and honestly, if it's something you like, it's probably really good. Because you seem to like all the great things. Let me see if... What I want to do is... Proteus, you might actually know this since you use Krita. I want to make the cropped edge rounded on the corners. Is there a way of doing that? Well, I have to the Googles. I don't want to the Googles. Thought when I was using it earlier, I had seen... Not that you are aware of. Fair enough. Something I had... Oh, what am I doing? I can just hit select all. Get the actual. There was something I wanted to... I managed to somehow make the select... around its edges, but I don't think it actually... I'm gonna ditch the I do art today and head back to Tinder. I mean, love is a form of art. So I thought I had somehow, when I was first bumblefucking with this program, managed to round the edges of a selection, but I don't know how the hell I did that. Now you want to go on to just everybody go on to Tinder right now. Follow Maeve and Raffi. They are great life examples. Just everybody on Tinder right now. See what's available in your local area at this time. I'm gonna mess with this a little bit more before I decide I'm not finding what I need. Thought I had seen I had somehow rounded the edges of a selection. And if I could then delete everything outside the selection, that's... would be perfect. I just have no idea what... it would be. Yeah, I did want to make a schedule art thing. That's what I'm doing is doing a schedule. Sorry, darling, I forgot you came in a little bit later than everybody else. Darling? Darling? Thank you. Yeah, I did not pick up a couple of those darlings when normally it do. Not everything is scuffed. This isn't Thursday, Maeve. Let me actually go ahead and bring up, the Googles and see if I can just Google rounded corners. Was that one too loud? Every day is Thursday when you're unemployed. I mean, yeah. I think it was a bit louder than the preview. Yeah. not thinking too hard about this. One thing I did see, though. Not what I'm looking for. Promise to only drink on days that start with T, aka Tuesday, Thursday, today, and tomorrow. I mean, every day is tomorrow when you're, in the future. Let me see here. Nope. You know what? It's just gonna be rounded or square edged for now. I got no idea what. There's a 5-minute timer on the sound alerts. It was originally set up for when I was going to be playing Into the Radius on stream, and I didn't want someone to spam Leviathan Roar every minute. Every goddamn minute, because somebody would do that. But I also forgot to change it from horror sounds to a different profile anyway, so you all have a bunch of horror sounds. Just noticed a little bit of the tattoos up there. Cool. Subtle. I do not know how I rounded the edge of the thingamawhat, but I'm not going to worry too much about it. I think I am going to call this done. It looks good. So there's not a lot of words on the blacklist. But I must admit, I'm impressed you found one. Oh, yes, I do have most gendered slurs removed, except for some of the ones that target males, because honestly, we kind of get away with a lot of shit, and if somebody wants to call us a prick, that's fair. Even things out. Yeah, I'm happy with this. Let's go ahead and save. Now, Proteus darling, if I save it as a created document, it comes up with all the layers intact, yes? Like I reopen it and all the layers are there? Fantastic. So let's go ahead and actually... It's not really a Vroid, but... Schedule template, create a document. That way it's somewhere safe. Now, what I can do is actually edit in next week's schedule. Stop that, I want to drag the thing. Female dog, half the time is used for other meaning. I know, I might remove bitch off of the list. I'm not a big fan of the term, but at the same time, it's mostly just because, I don't know, I'm annoyed by the fact that anything with a female connotation is used as an insult in general. It used to be just calling... Now, of course, you know, I'm either saying used to be like back in the olden days, or I didn't notice it when I was younger, but you would call women bitches for basically acting like guys, standing up for themselves, speaking their mind, that type of thing. But then suddenly it became common to call guys bitches to show that they're little weak, pathetic things, mewling, simpering individuals. And that really bugged the hell out of me. Because it's like, hey look, it's another thing that refers to females that is used to denigrate males by comparing them to the average female. That's bullshit. But I do also use the term almost as punctuation quite frequently. I've been trying to get out of the habit. And then I also realized that my best friend uses it just straight up to describe people. She will say at the gaming table, "Roll for initiative, bitches!" Just in reference to everybody at the table. And I have no problems with that. I mean, not just because she's, my best friend's female, but also it's a non-caustic use of the term. But then our society as Americans has a lot wrapped up in the term too, and it becomes too complex for me to want to have to deal with on stream. So I don't know. Set a manual rule for no calling women bitches, but I don't know if that's... Denigrate is considered racist? I forgot what I was doing there for a second, so I just started zooming. Pacifico 12 point 12 point insert spaced out doppelping. To put down on the same level as... Oh. I have not heard that one. I must admit. Don't know if it's true, but you've heard it from 2 or 3 sources. I've never... I've not actually personally experienced that. Usually denigrate is more of a... Is that over the top of? That is over the top of. It means to put down. It means to insult, to belittle, to question the relevance of, but not any means with a particular racial connotation. I could see how it could, by all means, but Pacifico 12, and I fucked up the first one because it's supposed to be bold. Did I bold the first one? I don't think I bolded the first one. Week after next. I think it's the origin of the thing. That might be the case. The origins of terms, the origins of so much stuff is just hilarious and awful at the same time. The more you learn, the more you question the existence of a loving deity. Kind and loving deity. Let's see here. Sunday, 12 p.m. I was going to do, that's right, Chex Quest HD. You'd make it a little darker? Yeah, it is blurring there in the 16 and touch the top there. So I'm still having the same problems it had as a white color. What if we choose something more like the Sakura wood? Yeah, that works. I can remove this fluffy. And rename it. Well, actually, I'm doing the JPEG, so it doesn't matter. Almost black would have high enough contrast, like maybe 400, 510 in that neighborhood. Let's see here. First of all, Pacifico, 12-point font. Is there a way to... You have no money for... I'm not seeing offhand a way to do hex codes, but... Let's see how this do. Monday... Oh, bold this time. Monday at 6 p.m. is Astro Near. I think that will work. Think you should hit the shower and sleep. I don't blame you, darling. Hex code pasting is essential for graphic design. Ah, apparently it comes from the Latin to blacken or to make dark, so it doesn't come from the N word itself. It's supposedly as racist as saying black magic, or calling evil magic black magic. That makes some sense. Oh, but the other half of you is, saying shower and coffee. Honestly, I mean, how have you been doing on sleep, darling, recently? Because if you've been off on your sleep, then I would say, as much as I love having you here, get some fucking sleep, dear. I know how fucky a sleep schedule can be when you're unemployed. Just having no need to do anything in particular or be of any particular. Sometimes ago. It is good to maintain a regular sleep schedule. It helps with depression and fatigue, general fatigue. Boom, 2016. Yeah, that stands out a lot nicer with while still being close to the color palette. Me employed with a shit sleep schedule. Myself as well. I say that being a person who regularly suffers attacks. In fact, after how shitty the stream was Thursday, I realized that part of it was partway into the stream, into the debugging that did not go anywhere. I was getting frustrated. I was also having a neurological misfire. I was getting a neurally induced anxiety attack, which just fed into the fact that I was already dealing with stress to begin with, and it didn't go away until like an hour after I ended the stream. After that, I was just fucking exhausted. It was terrible. I deal with that frequently. It sucks. Regular sleep patterns, you sleep when you're sleepy and wake when you wake up. I mean, it's a pretty natural sleep pattern, and falling into it, you will find that your body will oftentimes fall into a rhythm doing that. But you can also find that if you're having depression problems, if you're having anxiety issues, if you're having fatigue problems, chronic fatigue especially, your sleep pattern will deepen and randomize and just become terrible. And it will make everything worse. Much love to you too, Kels, darling. Darling. I think if I mutter it too much, it doesn't pick up. Normal sleep pattern weekdays is 2 a.m. to 6 a.m., then weekends all the sleep. I wish I could do that, but I say I get up at 6, but I have 2 alarms, 6 and 7. I have to be at work, which is 20 feet from my bed, and functioning at 8. So I normally go to bed at 9, expecting to be asleep by 10, so that I can be awake at 6 and have 8 hours. It doesn't work out that way, but that's the pattern. Depression is because one stoner up on Sky doesn't show their face up here for over half. Yeah. I mean, especially, yeah, being in the... Are you in the northern part of Finland? But Finland in general, Scandinavia, a good bit of it, you lose a lot of light because you're so far up on the globe. So there are entire points where you just don't see the sun. And that would be tough. Because as much as I miss working nights, as much as I like the darkness, 60-degree northern, so very north. Wow, much north, very upward. Yes, Proteus darling. Doom. Proteus darling. Yeah, I think I just need to raise my pitch of my voice. I must be speaking relatively low for you guys. You live in southern Finland. See, Scandinavia is one of those weird ones because I'm used to looking at a Mercator map, which accentuates the length of northern reaches. Like, it makes Canada look immense, which Canada is big. It also makes all of Scandinavia look extremely stretched when it's not actually so. I keep forgetting, like, I keep thinking it's like as long as Europe is, but just a little bit further up, when it's really not exactly. Your volume's at a 10, and it's normally at a 7 on my streams. Phone scale, okay. I think I've been speaking a little softly because I've been pretty low energy. I think I'm only now getting energy, which is ironic because I'm almost done and going to be sleeping after this. From here to northern Finland, ocean drive is about 13 to 15 hours. Yeah, for myself, I am Pacific Standard Time.
I'm gonna eat a pizza. Hi, can I order a pizza?
No,
Why?
'cause you are John Madden.
Yes. I couldn't not have that one. I love it so much. Mostly because of Doppel's reaction, but I like the concept that one of these days, those two are going to be in chat. Ultra's going to be poking around the soundboard, see that, set it off, knowing nobody's going to hear her, but knowing that everybody can still hear her laughing. You are GMT +2. Yeah, you're 2 hours past England, so you're 10 hours off from me. So it's mid-morning for you guys. Maeve is in the future. Yes, Maeve is from the future. So if you don't invest in crypto when Maeve says so, that's on you. We're just late. I mean, I'm an American, so that does make sense. 5 hours ahead for you, yeah. See, that's the other thing that bugs me, is I keep... the maps Americans use in schools are terrible. Mercator maps are fucking awful because my memory of it puts South America basically directly below North America, directly below the US. So I see Brazil mentally as being like Eastern Seaboard, so East Coast time zone and Central time zone, maybe a little bit of mountain time, but not much, if any. When you're really kicked further out to the side. Nice DeLorean, bro. One of the better running gags to come up of late. What the hell was I going to do Sunday? Oh yeah, that's right. That stretches a bit too much. I don't think anybody's gonna ding me for not capitalizing all of checks. Main thing is that I'm gonna be doing checks quest not tomorrow, but the Sunday after that. This is next week's schedule. Tomorrow, I want to say at noon, but it really all depends, is gonna be it's gonna be Titanfall 2's single player. The Earth is really a Fiat, so it's shitty and broken down? I mean, yeah. Half-pipe Earth theory. I mean... I'm not gonna say that's wrong. I'm not gonna say it's right by any means, but... Let's go ahead and in Vroids save it as schedule, but let's go ahead and call it a JPEG to save space. 90% compression works fine for me. Now let's go ahead and check our work, darlings. And let's see here. Yeah, it's a little empty at the moment, but I do plan on streaming more than just 3 days here eventually. I just need to... I've been working up to it. I mean, this is all... I've been streaming since October, but it's still all so new to me. On a large scale, it's a rather round object, but you look out the window and it's anything else than flat. Yeah. Well, most of Scandinavia is anything else but flat, if I recall. Out here, we've got nothing but hills. Like, Western Washington is hills and mountains. Hills, valleys, chasms, mountains. Eastern Washington is flat. That's where we put all of our separatists. You've lost your job and have streamed 70 plus hours in 16 days. Good Lord, Maeve, darling. And yeah, because you're a mod, you can actually post shit. That's... Raffi, why haven't I unmodded you yet? I mean, really, that... I think this will look good. Let me go ahead and bring up my Discord in a separate window. I've got messages from Raffi. Fuck you. It's a good thing I love you, Raffi. And then, since I can't actually access the schedule channel on my own Discord, for reasons I don't understand, but are cider. You thought image files are allowed? No, you're allowed to post links because you are a mod and also a regular. My regulars, however the hell the algorithms figure that out, are able to post links and do most stuff. But yeah, that shows. Okay, well, it's posted in announcements on the Cider House, but I honestly think that works. There's still a little bit of empty space, but I'll work on it. Are you considered as a regular? I honestly have no idea who is considered as a regular because it's whatever Twitch's programming says. Yeah, either post a link or say bitch. One of the two. Well, no, Raffi, darling, you can go ahead and post whatever you want. I'm not worried about you posting a caustic link. I'm honestly not worried about any of you right now posting a caustic link. Like, none of y'all are assholes to, you know, try to steal each other's identities. Yeah. Kelly's whitelisted also, I guess. And had to try both. What was the why didn't I unmod you yet about then? Half-pipe Earth. That is cursed, you freaking monster. Beating back Nightbot, yeah. Let's actually go over to the chatting screen, because that's all the art I wanted to actually do. And, I mean, you've seen too much of my desktop. Actually, no one will... I'm sure nobody is surprised I have Rarity on my desktop. Alternative world maps on Wikipedia are interesting, yeah. No, darling, Raffi, you don't have to worry about it. I am going to curse you out. I am going to threaten to unmod you. I am going to say you're history's greatest monster. Because you do things that make me question the existence of a kind and merciful God. But I love you for that. This was honestly remarkably good. This is my first impromptu stream, actually. Still have the imminent... Oh, God. What am I gonna do with you, darling? This was remarkably fun. This was a lot of good came from this. And I'm so glad you all showed up for it too. You know, something else than improv your streams? I mean, this is my first, like, impromptu dropping in and just doing a stream at random instead of scheduled. I might do more impromptu streams in the future, especially if I miss days of work because my brain fucks up. I'm probably at my computer gaming anyway. The only difference is I might be watching YouTube videos, but if I'm not, I see no reason why not to just stick you guys into an 8-hour Astroneer stream. Guerrilla streams are... Well, first of all, even if I said no, are you going to... Yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna complain.
Right. Extra noses pounces on you, ooh, you're so warm. Couldn't help but notice your bolts from across the floor. Noses your Nicky Wacky till day Matilda, hee hee. Unzips your baggiest pants, oh baby, you so musky. Take me home, pet me, and make me yours, and don't forget to stuff me. See me like my widow baby, tail for your bulgy wulgy. Kisses and lickies your neck. I hope daddy likey nuzzles and wuzzles your chest. I be getting thirsty. Hey, I got a little itch. You think you can help me? Only 7 inches long. Ooh, please adopt me. Paws on your butt as I lick my lips. Ooh, punish me, please. Gotta hit him with this furry shit. He don't see it coming.
I love that song. You can all thank or curse Quilby for that, because it's one of her audio redeems, and I have thrown an unfortunate amount of money at that woman, setting that off at just the best and worst times. And now that I have a soundboard, I can do it to you, or you guys can do it to me. Yeah, on hers it's like 750 bits, so you're paying $7.50. Or you're giving her $7.50. You're paying closer to $10 with the price gouge Twitch or the markup Twitch puts on bits when you buy them. Not gonna lie, this is better than many radio sang songs. Yeah. As Proteus just fucking runs. I don't know why, but I really like that one. It's ridiculous and terrible. And you would not believe the angle I'm having to put myself at to look directly at you guys. I screwed up the angle on my model this time around so badly, but I don't want to fix VC face, but I'm going to be leaving eventually. I'm also going to be, like, after this stream, I'm going to adjust the volume down on the Uwu song, because when the boost hits, that's supposed to be the painful part. You're not supposed to start off with ear-splitting trauma. One of those dumb songs that sound good and you feel bad for liking. You can't bully me into staying like we did to Doppel yesterday. I mean, you can't throw money at me, so that's gonna be tricky. So many sound alerts are mixed way too loud. Yeah, the sound alerts... Okay, that is throwing me off. Even, I'm just gonna hold on a second for fuck's sake. Okay, facing that way. And rotate, because your controls are different. There we go. Fuck a donkey. Need more disciples and decibels. Disciples of Decibels would be a great, like, old school metal band name. The cheer one is loud too. Yeah, I think I'm gonna cut most of them down to like 75% at the very least. Let's see here. I honestly think streamer mic should be priority number 1 and alerts below that. Yeah. trying to... Actually, let me pull up the soundboard website so I can see what ones I had actually tweaked the audio on and do a test of that here. Dishboard, sound alerts, library. Oops, wrong button is at 62%. Gotta look into how Doppel gets her other audio down whenever she speaks. Yeah, no, because her other audio mutes a bit more when she speaks. Not a lot, but it's enough to make a difference. I mean, it doesn't mute Moonbase Alpha enough, but I don't think anything will, and that's a good thing. If you're throwing $10 at her for that, you should have as much ear-splitting violation as you want for $10. Think you're going to do an Irish coffee and start your day. Not a bad call. I mean, it is the morning for you. Let me catch up with chat, because I think I might have missed some stuff with you people actually interacting and talking. DIY YouTuber's been great for creative output. Yeah. Don't think I actually missed anything after all, necessarily.
Fuck!
That's at 83%. So how did that sound for you guys? Oh, Uwu's at 87. Let's put Uwu down to like half. I'm gonna test Uwu.
Right. Extra noses pounces on you, ooh, you're so warm.
Is that still really damn loud for you
notice your
guys?
bones from across the floor. Noses your nicky wacky till day or till day, hee hee. Unzips your baggiest pants, oh baby, you so musky. Take me home, pet me, and make me yours, and don't forget to stuff me. See me like my widow baby tail for
Unfortunately,
your
I can't
bulgy
stop it.
bulgy. Kisses and lickies your neck. I hope daddy likey sazzles and wazzles your chest.
Yeah, I'm seeing it's competing directly with my mic.
You can help me? Only 7 inches long. Ooh, please adopt me. Paws on your butt as I lick my lips. Ooh, punish me, please. Gotta hit him with this furry shit. He don't see it coming.
Okay, so that was at half. I'm putting it to like a quarter now. So it's at 25% save. Let's...
Right. Extra noses pounces on you. Ooh, you're so warm. Ooh, couldn't help but notice your bones from across the floor. Noses your nicky wacky till day or till day, hee hee. Unzips your baggiest pants, oh baby,
That
you
sounds
so
better to
musky.
me.
Take me home, pet me, and make me yours.
Yeah, I
and
should
don't
probably
forget to
speak.
stop
Yes,
me. See
words,
me like
words.
my widow
Stonks.
baby tail for your bulgy
Numbers,
bulgy.
numbers,
Kisses and
business,
lickies
business
your
numbers.
neck. I hope daddy
$5,
likes
$5
sazzles and
foot
wazzles
ones.
your chest.
I don't know. I don't know what to say. I also need to tweak the mic settings on this because I put a lot of changed mic settings on the VR settings, but not on this settings. About level with the mic? Okay. I know I do need to put the mic up a bit. Let me actually make sure that mic didn't fucking default horribly. Let's see here. Check input. Test your mic. Yes, again. God damn it. Okay, now my mic's up. So my mic has been quiet a lot, and it's because it defaults to being at like 15%. And that's way the hell too low. That's way too low. I'm peaking now. Like now it's actually doing a thing. Let me see here. I'm speaking softly while I go back to my filters and put my limiter on. Okay, got my limiter on now. How is it now? How's my mic now? Uwu? Uwu, uwu? Popping a bit too? I don't have my pop filter on. it is nice having a physical... Oh, yeah. Oh, shit. I have, like, multiple knobs I can adjust. Let me actually turn bass on the board down a little bit. The boost... Okay. Signal's kind of hot, like it's getting fuzzy. Turn the gain down a bit. Yeah, I keep looking at the Go XLR, but I have a... I mean, it's a Pile. It's a budget brand, but a good budget brand by most accounts. Mixer. So I don't feel like I should throw the kind of cash down it takes to buy a Goat XLR. Because they're pricey. But they're good for streamers specifically, but they're pricey. And I don't know. Yeah, Pile makes good... I've heard Pile makes solid road gear. Not the most sensitive, finest tuning stuff. That's, I mean, gold standard's still pretty much Yamaha there. Yamaha, just like anything Yamaha brand is good. Like, if Yamaha makes a thing that you are looking at buying, Yamaha's a good choice. But Pile, I did my research, and then I of course consulted with Kells also. And Pile, to my recollection, is a pretty good option and not too expensive. Like, it cost $70 for my mixer, I think. I'm gonna probably upgrade to a better one eventually, but this one has what I need. It does 2 XLR outputs, so I've got my main microphone here, and then I've got the long cable going to outside for my lapel mic for VR streaming and for when I start doing vinyl streams. Or start doing that in the Discord. Had a secret solo first, but there was some bug in the equipment for the drivers kept fucking your audio. Foot long dingle dong. I don't know what that is in reference to. Paid $100 for Scarlet Solo, which turned out to be Garbo. Yeah, you want to play a synthesizer? Check Yamaha. Keyboard? Check Yamaha. Motocross? Check Yamaha. Street biking? You know, Yamaha. Do you want a good pen? Yamaha. That's really kind of the interesting things about Zaibatsus as opposed to Western monopolistic companies, is they don't focus on monopolizing a single market usually. They diversify into doing goddamn everything. Just everything. See, Kels has got a guitar somewhere. Raffy's got a piano. Is my mic okay, though, now? Like, how's it sounding? I always do mic checks. Well, not this time around, because it was a Gorilla stream. I just sat down and I'm like... Fuck it, I spent the last 5 hours I was working on this before I fucked it up thinking it was good streaming material I didn't stream. Mitsubishi, Yamaha, and Toho are 3 Zaibatsus that dabble in just so much. I mean, Yamaha has a foothold in Virtualoids. Vocaloids, weren't they the ones backing the team that developed Hatsune Miku? Yeah, I love your Mod X6. I was actually recommended that as a mixer, but it's 3 or 4 times the cost of what I paid for my Pile. And the only real downside to the Pile, aside from it being a little basic, and I'm using the left-right out into my sound card instead of the USB, because the USB option is the USB option has a little bit of lag, and also I don't have enough USB ports. Other than that, the only real downside to Pile is the fact that it's named Pile. I feel like I need a Pile counter now. Yamaha created the Vocaloid software. Krypton Future Media made the Miku character and voice. Ah. Yeah, I know. Because I think it was Krypton Future Media, the company, was started by the students who were working with Yamaha in developing Vocaloid software, if I recall correctly. But I also, it's been a while since I looked into Vocaloid history. No, that should stay as loud as fuck. I'm certain that that should stay loud as fuck. Let's cut it down to 75% though. There should not be a lot of things that should, like, cripple people's ears, which, by the way, let's try Uwu now.
Right. Extreme noses pants.
That's at 25%.
You're so warm. Couldn't help but notice your boats from
I think it's better. I can definitely see my mic is heading up over it. I also don't think I'm going to talk a lot while it's playing because I love this song, unless I'm going to be singing to it. But I also don't know the lyrics as well as Blue does, so that's going to be tricky. I'm going to have to memorize the lyrics. That's clear. I'm definitely going to have to memorize the lyrics. Really annoy people with it. Only 7 inches tall. Ooh, please adopt me. Anyway, at this very shit. Get a better chair. For now, I'm rocking chair, which is comparable to IKEA's Sven Bertil. Not long, not tall. Honestly, yeah. If you have a comfortable chair that's not a gamer chair, congratulations. If you say your dick is 7 inches tall, you're a disgrace. No, because length is the measurement from person to person you're introducing it to. Tall would be its height, which is, you know, from feet to head. 7 inches wide, essentially. That's impressive. I mean, I think you'll kill people with that, but if you say tall, it means you're laying down. You do think, you do, yeah, I need a better chair too. First of all, if you have thrift stores or charity stores, I'm not sure what you call them over there, but secondhand stores, I love getting chairs from there. Just because it's cheap, and if it's survived long enough to actually be put out for sale at a secondhand store, it's gonna be bulletproof. And 7 inches wide and 1 inch long, cheese wheel gang. Fuck. Thank you, Rafi. We absolutely need to know that. That is very important information, darling. Yay. If I couldn't buy a new one with same price. Yeah, that's the other thing, is that secondhand is so fucking cheap. My current computer chair, I bought it mildly broken from a thrift store for $15. Holy crap, has it been 10 years? I think it's been 10 years. And it's a regular office chair, but it's a larger one, like larger base, larger back. I think it was probably made for chonky chung guys such as myself. But the piston went out, so it's shorter than I prefer, is all. But it's slowly getting uncomfortable because of the fact that it's shorter, and I've also spent a decade sitting in it, so I've got a nice ass groove into it, so there's less comfortable padding. If I put a pillow down, it's probably fine, but sitting here all day is torture after a while. I want to get a new chair. I've got my income tax return coming in and profit sharing, so I'm getting a good amount of money coming in. I just don't want to buy a gamer chair. Gamer chairs are bullshit. I bought one last year, no, 2-3 years ago. I spent like $300 on it. It was rated for people my size. Like, plenty of rating. I always go over what they recommend by a good margin. So like if it says it's a 300, I'm assuming it's a 250 or 225 pound weight limit. And like this one was rated like 500 pounds. That's way more than I will ever be, I hope and pray. But it died after 6 months. Like, it broke. And it wasn't just like the base was ripping away from the seat, and the seat was metal. It was just really cheap metal. And it cost me like $300. So I basically paid $50 a month for a chair that stopped working after 6 months. It's bullshit. Want a nice big desk that is height adjustable. Getting tired of the L desk. I have an L desk as my workshop. If you are in our Discord, the Cider House, I've got some pictures of my battle station. I'm actually renovating it now, and I got a couple more swing arms in to mount some other things. Probably, I was gonna do that tonight, but I obviously did this instead. Probably buy a chair from Razer. I don't recommend gamer chairs in general. They are designed around an aesthetic. They're designed to look like race car chairs.
He knew. He fucked up.
But they're not designed to be comfortable. They're designed to look cool. I was tempted to buy the Cyberpunk Secret Lab chair, but A, Secret Lab chairs aren't all that comfortable to begin with. They're better than most average gamer chairs, but they're not great still. And I also saw that Secret Lab's logo got top billing on it. It's like Secret Lab logo big on top, and then under that, smaller, is Cyberpunk 2077 logo. What the fuck? You got second billing on your own chair, bro. Fail. And I'm not necessarily a Razer fanboy, but I do love Razer. I had a couple other products early on in their company's career, and they sucked. But I use a Black Widow 3 and a Naga X for my keyboard and mouse, and they're great. I love them. Here's some advice for y'all. Never buy cheap Chinese chairs that are height adjustable. You don't want to know. Died when his cheap chair broke and the pole hit the adjustment and went through the seat. Yes, yeah, that's actually something that comes up on occasion in the news in China, is the pistons and adjustable height chairs manufactured locally will break, and it will blast that rod up your butt. Not in a fun way, in an extremely fatal way. You like rocking here in Snecky slippers? Catching a lot of heat right now for their mask. Oh, Razer's mask. I just don't like the price. Like, I would buy a Razer mask because it's probably as effective as any other cloth multi-layer mask, but I'm not paying that much for the branding, darling. Had a Recaro racing chairs in a previous car, and these gamer chairs just can't compare. Yeah, I honestly, I would not mind going to the scrapyard and finding like a Bonneville like I have right now, and just pulling the driver's chair out of that and putting it on a sturdy base. The chairs, the seats in the front of a Pontiac, early Pontiac Bonneville, or early Millennium Pontiac Bonneville, like the 10th generation frame, the model year 2000 to 2005, I think it is, are fucking amazing. They are comfortable. They're just phenomenal. They're meant for long distance. The idea was nice, but the way they market it and sell it, They also lied about its specs as a KN95 standard. Oh, they lied about it being KN95. Well, that's fucking adorable. That's fantastic. Good work. It's one of those valve ones that's made for graffiti instead of virus spreading prevention. The razor mask. Yeah, seats in your 14 Mazda 3 were absolutely comfy as AF. Able to drive from Yellowstone to SoCal in one day and no ass rock. That's pretty nice. Snacky Hoodie comes up to... Fair enough, Maeve. It's got two big round things, not sure if they're valves. If it's not a replaceable insert, then it's going to be a valve, in which case... And of course they have LED. I mean, I'm not going to knock a Razer face mask for having RGB, because first of all, I want RGB, and second, I already have a face mask that has RGB in it. Because ravers and cybergoths had this shit nailed down before there was a pandemic. Like, straight up, you want some cool-ass looking actual functional masks? Search that shit on Amazon. It's great. That was me drinking. Cybergoth mask. You'll find, if you search LED face mask, you'll find some good options. But if you search like Cybergoth or Raver face mask on Amazon, you'll find some interesting options. Quite a few of them are very functional masks too. Now, my most functional mask is the Finnish military surplus mask I have, because there was a point in which we were able to import Finnish milsurp masks, or milsurp stuff in general, for hella cheap, and I got a full-on gas mask with good, like, long life filters for $20. And it's fantastic. It's comfortable, and it's very stalkery. You want me back? Gonna put some coffee on? Good. You're only a couple accessories away from being a cybergoth. Honestly, if I knew about cybergoth when I was younger, I would have been. I'm not gonna lie. If I had any... I mean, honestly, it's not even if I had the money for it. Because you can kit bash that shit. It's some dope cosplay. I like the cybergoth aesthetic. Not gonna lie. Wait, you say you have Nase? What is Nase? Maybe one day you can get one of those Czech M10 gas masks. Yeah, those M10s look good. My soul yearns for cyberpunk stuff, though. Yeah. Oh, nickname for a military-grade gas mask. Yes, it's the type with the big puffed-out cheeks, because it's got a filter on each side that goes into the cheek wells, and then there's the center port, which is where gas or air comes, air goes out of. So it's got the port on the front where air goes out, and then the cheeks, there's two ports where the air comes in. Yeah, no, that that mask is fantastic. I don't know how well it's gonna work on that one, because it's pretty... I mean, that's a normal actual, like, not rebreather, but normal actual good dust and particle mask. It just comes down to whether all those spikes are sealed on the back end. If so, then that'll work really well, actually. Got one filter, but mask had two spots to put it, depending on what side you shoot with. But yeah. Oh! I think you're right on that. I mean, I'm not gonna question you on that. Gas mask? Yeah, let me actually switch over to gaming. This bad boy right here, this is what I have. These are really comfortable. Like, I've worn that to Walmart before because, nobody at Walmart wears a fucking mask, and my dad has lung problems. I'm not killing him. And some people were like, oh, are you making a political statement? Like, no, I'm making a statement that you motherfuckers aren't putting on your masks. Wear a fucking mask. If you wear a mask, I don't have to wear a gas mask. Unfortunately, you're a yokel and we're in the middle of a goddamn city and I still find yokels. Bought a painter's mask for Halloween and you're like, I'm gonna use this. Yeah. Like, that's just secure. For a longest time, there was, I believe it was this model here. No, it was not that. It was an actual gas mask. Something similar to this, where it's a full face shield and then there was a filter here. But it was Israeli surplus, and you could get those for pretty cheap for the longest time. But the finished one was cheaper at the time I bought a gas mask. And I mean, it's not like you need a whole bunch of gas masks, necessarily. Definitely not going to go with the smelly duck. But, yeah, that's the type of gas mask I have. On the West Coast, we need 3 masks now. 1 for COVID, 1 for airborne ash, and 1 for protests. God damn it, you're not wrong, Kels, darling. Darling. Thank you. Even with the mask being isolated for most of the part at work, I still get fucking COVID. Yeah, So, my company pivoted super hard to work from home, and my office was the first one to go work from home. They literally, it's a big company, so they've got private jets for flying executives around. They literally loaded up every freaking laptop in the company that was not assigned to an auto damage adjuster at the time, because those were just completely different spec, and flew them over to my location to get everybody at that office on a laptop to go home and work from home. Like, within 3 days. They got it all coordinated and completed within a week. They weren't fucking around, and that's because my location was the first one to get hit by COVID in my company. I actually know the person who brought it. He came back from overseas visiting family for the holidays, and he was feeling a little sick. It didn't affect him as badly. Then he was out of work for a couple of weeks. Then the people who were sitting next to him were out. Then I got it. And most of the people next to me got it. And this was February of the pandemic. February of 2020. God, has it been 2 fucking years? It really has been 2 fucking years. Yeah, because it was during profit sharing that it happened, which was about the only way I could miss work for 2 weeks, was because I had profit sharing covering my ass. But, like, after people realized what had happened, the whole office just went home. It was rough. Don't know about up there, but here, if you don't wear a mask, you don't get in. Like, in Washington, over here on the west side at least, we're supposed to be strict. Wear your damn mask, wear it properly. Businesses can and should and or have to refuse you for not wearing a mask, except under certain circumstances. If you are at your table at a restaurant, for example. In King County specifically, you have to have your vaccination card or a photo of it to get entry. but to a building. Like, if you walk into a business, they must check. A lot of places don't, though. And it's not like there's a cop at every business waiting to bust somebody for not checking. Yeah, Regris got COVID after a coworker came in sick saying, haha, don't worry, it's not COVID. Yeah. That's right, he's had it like twice because you also got it when you were living with him from your shithead coworker, if I recall correctly. Just, these old Soviet GP I was catching up on messages, but I think that just made it faster. Thanks, Nightbot. Monday, the second week of school, released by lunchtime. Vax card is not demanded most places, but they have the right to ask. I think it should be demanded, but I'm also not stupid. The whole masks and vax thing, how can people be such big assholes? Like, it's not just being stupid. You are willingly saying the lives of everybody around you is not worth the inconvenience of wearing a goddamn mask. Your friends, your family, your parents, your children, your coworkers. I mean, okay, I could stand to lose some of my coworkers, they're pricks, but I wouldn't wish this shit on them. I've had it. And it really, really makes me wish there were more leftist spree shooters out there. I probably shouldn't say that. Let's say I didn't say that. I'm not saying I didn't mean it, though. That's why Reddit's Herman Cain Awards is a thing. Yeah, fucking Herman Cain's Twitter. Is it? I don't know. I haven't kept up on it. But for a couple of months after Herman Cain died of fucking COVID, his Twitter account was still posting anti-COVID propaganda. And it's like, dude died from it. Whoever's maintaining that account knows he died from it. But was still posting on his name disinformation about that shit. Oi. It makes me, well, it makes me want to say regrettable things, but just, it's frustrating. It's fucking frustrating. Yeah, Herman Cain was the Republican Party's token black guy, basically. He fell into the it's not a pandemic, it's not real, it's like the cold, it's like the flu, it's just a way for liberals to put control onto people and lock you inside side of things. He got COVID it was either at a family function or at a Republican function. A party function, and it straight up killed him, like slowly, and like up to the day he died in the hospital, up to the day his death was announced on his Twitter account, he was posting, like, from when he got it, it went from posting about how it wasn't, he's okay, he's gonna recover, to I can't breathe, I need a machine to breathe, my bones ache, and then he goes quiet, and then the next post a couple days later was his death. And then right after that was more fucking propaganda about how it's not a really thing, it's not fatal, it's not actually killing people, it's the flu. Yeah, yeah, calling Republicans conservatives is a bit like calling Democrats liberals. I mean, I'm a radicalized leftist myself, but I recognize there's a difference between Democrat and liberal and left. It's a spectrum. And Republicans have lost control of their party to the point where a conservative is closer to a Democrat than they are a Republican. They're all considered conservative by everybody else's standards. Our leftists are considered kind of left by everybody else's standards. Which is right and which is left? The right is the conservative party, the conservative side of things. The left is the progressive side of things. So on the radical end of the left side of it is socialists and communists, and on the right side of it, it's, well, Nazis, let's be honest. Too bad both parties suck the corporate phallus. Yes, without question. Unfortunately, that's the pain of unbridled capitalism. I mean, to the people who say it's just the flu, remember what happened at the start of the flu? When there was no vaccine and it was less evolved for people and it was fucking brutal? Oh, you mean like when the Spanish flu epidemic killed more people in World War I than guns and bombs and artillery and tanks? No, they fucking forget about that. Also, the fact that it was exactly 100 years ago from when the pandemic, our current pandemic, started? Yeah, no, they think about how, oh, the flu isn't that bad. I get sick. It's worse than a cold. Like I'm not gonna go to work if I have the flu if I can avoid it. But I make it out just fine. But yeah, these are people who had been vaccinated as children. They're people with strong immune systems. They're people who have been exposed to the virus repeatedly, so their immune system is kept up. The herd immunity is strong against the flu. But yeah. Eat dirt, stay healthy. And yeah, and just the flu. People still die from that shit. Yeah, just cover your mouth. Just if everybody wears a mask. If everybody wears a mask and everybody stays 6 feet away from people, you'll be fine. Honestly, I like the fact that the pandemic has forced people to wear masks and stay 6 feet away from me. It keeps me from having to swing a cane to keep 6 feet. I will fucking hit somebody if they get too close. Some people have no idea the concept of personal space. I'm standing in line and there's somebody like directly pressing against me? Fuck you. I'm telling you once to get back. If you don't, you catch hands. Like, what the fuck? So in more positive news, I'm going to contact Twitch to get an official confirmation, but I've seen confirmations from other streamers. It turns out, provided it's still legal in your area, which it is in mine, you can assemble a firearm on stream. And America, with the exception of some states, actually, it's still legal. It's legal to manufacture your own firearm, even if it's from a kit. Like, most of the parts are manufactured by somebody else and you just assemble it. The main thing with America is we consider the receiver to be the part of the firearm that is the firearm. And that to me, or that means, and it's got to be like, in America, it's got to be 80% completed or less. So you get the receiver and you say, tap the holes for it yourself, for the rivets or bolts or whatnot. That's completed. That's 80%. You complete it. That counts as you building your own gun. And it's legal in this country. There are some states like California where you have to put a serial number on it and then register that serial number with the local government. Which I'm not disagreeing with, honestly. That's fine. I mean, the only issue is you'll end up with redundant serial numbers. You'll end up with people putting "fuck the police" in LEET on their gun, which, I mean, that's what I would probably do. And it doesn't really, it won't matter. It's not tracking a individual firearm manufactured by one person for their own use. Even if you have the serial number, it's really academic. It's like when they started putting serial numbers on boxes of ammunition for sale in California. So you had to register your ammunition, which they did for a short period, but not long at all. Once you open the box, guess what? There's no serial number on that goddamn bullet. And if there was, it'd be on the case, not the lead. And if it was on the lead, it would have been deformed when it went through the human. So, congratulations. But yeah, no, I was looking at buying an AK parts kit for a good while, and building a semi-automatic AK-47, which would be legal in my state, as long as it's semi-automatic. And I'm going to contact Twitch directly just to get confirmation, but apparently there are a couple of streamers who regularly manufacture firearms on stream, and it sounds like a fun-ass time. I also want to make it a bullpup. Like, the kit I've been looking at has really, really cheap furniture that doesn't even match in color, but you can just replace the furniture easily. Get a drop-in kit. Wish masks would stay, not for everyone all the time, but at least if you're sick, maybe it can be normalized like in Japan. Yeah, 100%. If you're sick, wear a goddamn mask. Just plain and simple. Even if it's not particularly effective at keeping your germs off of people, like you're just wearing a basic single layer cloth mask so you can breathe normally, first of all, fuck you. But second, it's a sign that people should stay away from you because you're fucking sick. Mask culture might stick, at least with non-morons. I agree. Yeah. I don't think I'm gonna go back to not wearing masks, especially since I can 3D print some pretty dope ones. I don't want you people seeing my face. I've lost the ability to mask emotions. I'm judging you. You're gonna see the fact that I am not happy with your existence just because I'm near your existence. I don't want to be near you. That's why I don't go outside. So if I'm outside, I'm angry. It's legal and not porn, I don't see why not. Soviets never used the word comrade, nor Russian translate from it. Huh. Single cloth is still better than nothing and at least lessens the sneeze radius. True. It's not good for pandemic standards. If you're using cloth, it should be at least 2 layers of a good, sturdy material. 3 layers of basically whatever the hell you have on hand. The way I read it was like anything over like a 6-ounce t-shirt weight is good enough to do 2 layers. Or an N95, yeah. The comrade came from US propaganda. I'm not surprised, but I also like being called a comrade, so, I mean, I'm cool with that. And yeah, I prefer the AK platform over the AR platform, because realistically, the accuracy differences aren't going to make a big difference aren't going to make any difference as a civilian unless I'm going into competition, which I'm not good enough to go into competition. Meanwhile, the AR platform is extremely finicky. They require maintenance, and people have pulled AK-47s out of bogs that were left there during, like, the fucking invasion of Afghanistan or some shit. Like, people have pulled them out of the dirt after it's been there for 40, 50, 60 years, getting hit by the weather, cleared the chamber, put a new magazine in, and it fucking works. Pretty much all Russian hardware is like that. It's heavy, it's ugly, but it will work. And I mean, that's me too, so, hey. That's another thing that has me stumped. Masks hide your face from people, the government. You would think that people who are very anti-government would be all about hiding their faces. You're correct. Yeah, and that's... I can say I'm glad I don't work in service industry, and that I definitely don't work nights at a fucking gas station like I used to during this shit, because I tell you what, somebody walks in with a mask, I'm telling them to get the fuck out. I don't care if there's a pandemic. You're just... Tell me what you want, I'll do the transaction, and shove your shit out the door. I don't trust the neighborhoods I worked in that the mask wasn't going to be followed up by a gun. I also worked in shit neighborhoods, so... Don't have IDs there? We have Raffi, darling, are you talking about us over here in the States or Maeve over there in Finland? In the US. We do have IDs, ID cards. They are required if you're an adult, but you can get them as early as, like, I think 15 or so with a learner's permit, depends on the state. But, yeah, we have, you can get a state ID card, you can get a driver's license if you can't pass or if you can pass a driver's test, you can get a driver's license. If you can't, you can still get a state ID. And we do have passports, and you will also have a social security card, which has your social security number, your individual serial number, basically. You don't need one, but society basically makes a driver's license necessary. At least in my state, and I know this because I witnessed it, you can be detained for up to 24 hours while the police confirm your identity if you do not have your ID on you when the police ask for it. It doesn't happen often, because it's a pain in the ass, but if a cop wants to be a prick, which... cop, they can detain you. I believe that was initially part of the Patriot Act, as an anti-terrorism thing, but then a lot of states said, no, seriously, why don't you have your fucking ID on you? In Cali, an ID is not necessary. That's good to know. That's actually kind of interesting for Cali. I gotta be honest. But yeah, Washington, it was after the Patriot Act expired, or most of its provisions at least. I think some of it's still lingering, sadly. But I was working at a gas station, and one of my customers, thankfully not one of the minorities, but a white person, but scum, anyway. You know, local trash. Good guy, but just local, lowbrow, low-class individual, was being asked for his ID because the cops didn't like the way he looked. He was doing nothing wrong. He was buying fucking cigarettes. And I knew he was well over 21. Like, I've sold to him so many times. I knew his date of birth, and he looked like he was in his mid to late 30s. So I didn't card him, and I didn't have to. There's a point in which you don't have to, or you didn't have to. Back then. But cops who were there getting gas decided to just see about him and ask about him and be all like, hey, you know, you look like somebody that we've been keeping an eye out for. Can we see your ID? He goes, I don't have it on me. It's back home. You want to follow me home? I can go and get it for you. And they fucking detained him. He came back the next day and said that they held him for 12 fucking hours just to confirm his ID after his roommate brought his ID to the fucking station. You really did. You've managed to hold me over for an hour without even paying me. I'm impressed. This is what happens when I talk. You're letting me talk. Didn't do it like Doppel. Yeah, Doppel was bullied. This is you just enabling me, not shutting up. My not shut up ability is pretty strong. I hate the sound of my own voice, Raffi darling. You know that. You know I hate the sound of my voice. It's all like midtones and sinus passages. It's awful. And when I hear it in my own head, like if I'm hearing my voice, it's deeper and rumblier than it ever picks up on mic. And even then, I don't like the sound of it coming from myself in my own skull. Missed the bullying, cursed by commute. Do you genuinely think my voice is calming, Maeve? Like, my voice is one of the most important things I seek outside input on because I know I'm not a good judge of my own voice. It's not something I can objectively say is quality because it's not something I'm hearing correctly. Even in a recording, I know my ears aren't picking it up because of the way I'm used to hearing my voice. It's psychological. I remember reading about it some time ago. Honestly, your voice is really good, Proteus, darling. It really is. Mine, I just think, is extremely high. Like, it's high mids and definitely nasally. And that's... my sinuses are all... my sinus passages are all weird. Your voice sounds less deep in your head. That's impressive. You do sound fairly deep, though. You hopped onto my stream because you know it's calming and helps you get relaxed. Oh, man. Thank you, darling. Really appreciate that, honestly. Like, I get why Doppel has a complex about her laugh, because I have the same issue with my voice. Except, I mean, people don't literally yeet money at me because I'm talking. We yeet money at her for laughing, or to make her laugh. And also because she's darling anyway. I said she's darling anyway. Darling! Fucker. Yeah, the only people who've really, for the longest time, had input on my voice were my direct family, who, of course, are not objective in my mind. Especially since my direct family are fucking assholes. But honestly, if you guys think my voice sounds good, I appreciate that. I was looking at doing some voice training, because I know the way I speak is basically the laziest way you can talk. Like, there's different... your vocal cords aren't actually cords, but there's different muscles that get involved depending on where your pitch is in your voice. And if you train it, you can have a much richer sounding voice where everything comes into the fold. As anybody who's studied music or singing knows, but I didn't because I was poor. And that's something I was wanting to look into. But that's because like I said, I speak with the least amount of effort, because when I was a kid, if I was too loud, I would get yelled at. And I never really, I liked singing, but I never really got into practice of it. Never got into the study of it. Toastmasters. God, my fucking company does Toastmasters. Or did. I mean, I don't know if it's still going on with the pandemic. Nobody said anything about your voice. Maeve, darling, it's because your voice is goddamn gorgeous. There's nothing to say about your voice because it's fantastic. Like, it's... goddamn. I lose higher brain functions when I'm thinking about your voice, darling. I'm gonna be honest with you. It's great for the chill streams because it's a deeper voice, but also soft. And because Finnish is your native language, you roll your R's a bit, which you should not feel self-conscious about if you are. Just, you shouldn't. It sounds really good. And yeah, Kel's legit, you used to be a fucking radio overcoat. Your voice sounds fantastic. But, I mean, Kel's, your voice is also very... it sounds professional is kind of what I want to say. Like, it's not deep or high. It's not heavy on mids, necessarily. It's sort of an all-arounder, but it's also... it's very clear. And I know a part of that is you do audio, so you've got that shit tuned really well. But it's just a very nice voice, darling. Darling. I would actually like to hear you narrate something, Raffi. I'm not gonna lie, your voice is good too. You do not have the voice of a freaking 18-year-old. Not any 18-year-old I know. Well, aside from you. Like, you do not sound like a young man in his prime. You have the voice of somebody with a name like Stacker Pentecost. Like, not exactly Idris Elba. But your voice should have a name like, Alistair Cain. It sounds good is what I'm saying. I'm not very articulate because, well, it's fucking midnight here. Jesus. I still have to get groceries before doing my stream tomorrow. You should take those as compliments. In fact, you fucking better. Do you hear me, Raffi? Take the compliment. Social distance. Dude, you're in fucking Brazil. I'm sorry, darling. There's not much better... Darling! Darling? I still need to do some fine-tuning. There's not much more social distancing than literally multiple countries away. Where's your 6-foot pole? I mean... I know where mine is. You could be in Australia. You're not a criminal or a spider. That's ridiculous. You are just one I would personally think, and this is mostly just due to, you know, Mercator maps screwing up my brain as a child, wouldn't Finland count as 3 countries because Sweden and Norway are sort of in between? But again, oh, the back door, right. I don't know why I wasn't thinking of that. Russia counts as a country. Who would have thought? But seriously, folks, this has been a blast to talk. If I find out more about gun building and get the okay from Twitch, I figure that's going to be something to commemorate. I'm going to buy the kit. I'm going to do my damn research. Because the last thing I want to do is get the clearance, get the kit, and not know how to put it together and end up looking up tutorial YouTubes. Japan... I think he's far enough north, Japan won't be in the way. I think. Knowing me, I'll drop the cam and dox myself again. You know what? You know what, Raffi? You know what? You're not wrong. You're not wrong. I would probably do that. I would also need to clean up my workshop anyway, which is an absolute disaster. It's like, even if I put all my tools up, there's still just everything everywhere anyway. That's gonna take, you know, I might need to borrow Doppel and some dynamite to clear up my fucking workshop, I'll be honest. But I'll be setting up, if I can do it, I'll set up a camera there, just pointing at my desk, or see if I can figure out how to get my, I think it was off of Wish, but a pair of camera glasses, like the glasses with the camera on them. That might be interesting, but I'd have to remember to put you guys on a BRB screen when I go to the bathroom. Otherwise, y'all are getting to see way too much. I bought, dude, yeah. I just put up a camera. Probably just put up a camera. Honestly, probably just run everything off my laptop and plug my camera in there. Nothing you ain't seen before. I don't know. I'm a Yagwai. It's literally a monster dong. But I will look into that. I'll also clean my workshop anyway, because I wanted to do physical streams with, like, restoring things, because I've got a hatchet head I need to restore and put a handle on, some sort of dagger, I think, and then a couple straight razors. But also, you know, wanted to be able to set up to do vinyl streaming and such. Even if I don't do the vinyl streaming on Twitch to avoid, you know, copyright strikes, streaming it on the Cider House. Yagwai sounds close to Mogwai. Fluffy is a gremlin. There's a reason for that. They are kind of related terms. But I'm not going to say I'm not a gremlin. I mean, I'm just not gonna lie to you guys. But it's now, like, literally Sunday. I have to stream in 12 hours. I have to get groceries and Brazilian alcohol before that. Fluffy Gremlin sticker when I can actually do stickers, and also when I can draw, to be able to draw my own stickers, because I want them to look good like Doppel's, but I'm not an artist. It's late though. Let me pop open Twitch, see, pop it open and immediately pause. I don't give a fuck about whoever's live on that. Let's see who's actually live over here. Oh, let's raid. Let's raid Maeve. Did that not do a thing? Invalid target channel again. Aha, fucking hell. No, the ad's supposed to be there. /raid M4 V3 N1 R. That's a T. That's an R. Oh, there we go. I've put the ad before and it rated. I don't know. Twitch, the fuck are you doing? Shut up, Raffi. Stop calling me out like that. I'm not drunk. Because I found a Hatsune Miku version. Raid message. But let's get the fuck out of here. It's midnight for me, which means it's 5 a.m. for some of you, 10 a.m. for others. It's probably last week for somebody. Thank you all for showing up, though, darlings. I love every single one of you that came by. I mean, I love every darling in the fluff pile, for starters, but... again, big ups to Enya Fairy for being the newest darling in the fluff pile. And thank you all for coming by. Let's get this raid on the road, though. Thank you, and have a lovely whatever the fuck time it is for you now. Bye-bye.